It's Friday, the 12th of February 2021. Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business Headlines, the business news you need in just 5 minutes. I'm Sean Aylmer. Today's headlines: Telstra delivers a decent profit and dividend, but can it compete with the NBN? Plus, AMP share price tumbles after its suitor decides against bidding for the group. Gold miner Newcrest shines while Transurban and AGL disappoint. And apparently the sky won't fall in when JobKeeper ends in March. Telstra delivered a net profit of $1.1 billion for the December half, in line with guidance, and maintained its dividends, a decision which should please its 1.3 million shareholders. Chief Executive Andy Penn forecast stronger earnings in coming years, saying a decade of disruption was coming to an end, with the rollout of the national broadband now complete. His T22 strategy to transform Telstra should boost profits, he said. It includes the spin-off of infrastructure assets slated for next year and more than 20,000 job losses since 2018. Yesterday, the group said it will take back control of its retail outlets. It's already invested $3 billion in technology, digitisation and simplification. Mr. Penn said the transformation was succeeding and there were about one-third the number of call centre inquiries during the final 6 months of last year compared to 3 years earlier. Mind you, that still works out at about 29,000 calls a day. Telstra's share price, which rose 2.5% yesterday, is still more or less half the level of 6 years ago. With the NBN rollout complete and a 5G network rolling out, now is the time for Telstra to shine, if it can. In overseas news, low interest rates and big government spending in normal times would lead to price rises. But US Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell said he wasn't concerned about inflation and the central bank would continue its ultra-easy monetary policy to boost employment in the world's biggest economy. Joe Biden had his first phone call with China's President Xi Jinping yesterday and was critical of Beijing's economic mercantilism, human rights abuses and bullying of regional allies like Australia. And Bitcoin hit a new record high overnight after MasterCard and Bank of New York Mellon Corp, one of the big banks in the US, made it easier for customers to use cryptocurrencies. The digital asset is now worth $48,364 US. Locally, AMP share price tumbled 11% after it said its suitor, Ares Management, was no longer interested in buying the group. More specifically, it doesn't want the wealth business or the bank, but Ares might still be interested in the funds management business AMP Capital. AMP Capital is the gem within AMP, and without it, the future for the group would be grim. Toll road operator Transurban reported a net loss during the half of $448 million on the back of much lower traffic flows due to COVID restrictions. The group said it had seen a return to more normal flows in Sydney and Brisbane in recent weeks. The New South Wales gaming regulator Philip Crawford said Crown Chief Executive Ken Barton must resign, following the release of a report into the group which found it wasn't suitable to win a casino licence in the state. Already 3 directors have stood down, including former AFL head Andrew Demetrio, who resigned yesterday. Crown Chair Helen Coonan made her first public comment about the report, apologising for the group's shortcomings, and said the report showed that Crown had much to do. It's not like a former politician to be so understated. Victoria reported 5 new cases of community-transmitted coronavirus yesterday, all from the Holiday Inn quarantine outbreak. But there was good news on the vaccine front after the European Union listed Australia as a country that will be able to receive exports from the region. The first doses of the Pfizer vaccine in Australia should be given out before the end of the month. The big question mark over the economy during the next couple of months is what will happen when JobKeeper ends. Will the economy fall off a fiscal cliff, or is there enough momentum, in the employment market at least, to take up the slack? Federal Treasury Secretary Stephen Kennedy told Parliament that the sky wouldn't fall in when the $90 billion program comes to an end. He said boosting business investment to help transition the economy from a consumer-led recovery, which he said was locked in, to a more broad-based recovery was critical. Gold miner Newcrest was the best performing stock on the ASX yesterday after it reported a doubling of underlying profit to $716 million and said it would pay a higher dividend. The group has plenty of cash on hand and over the half year made close to $1,000 for every ounce of gold it produced. What will happen to AGL Energy? Yesterday, it posted a statutory half-year loss of $2.3 billion and a 27% fall in underlying profit, worse than market expectations. The result reflected lower electricity generation and prices. Even if it was expected, it's a lot of money to lose in 6 months. And second-hand car prices jumped 36% in January, the biggest spike ever. There's plenty of demand for new cars, but supply is faltering as a result of COVID, and people are driving more, avoiding public transport. Hence, the spike in second-hand car prices. That's the Fear and Greed business headlines for today. Make sure you've hit subscribe so you don't miss out. There's also more in today's full Fear and Greed podcast, including an interview with Booktopia co-founder and CEO, Tony Nash. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your day.